Formula One, an immensely profitable arena, has witnessed investors reaping generous returns on their investments. However, gaining entry to this exclusive club proves to be an arduous task, given the strict sporting laws that limit the field to 12 teams with 24 cars. February 2023, 4 ambitious teams dared to seek entry. Among them, the highly discussed Andretti Cadillac partnership. Currently, the FIA is meticulously scrutinizing these applications, a process projected to continue until the end of July. Well, how likely is it that we will get to see a new team on the grid before 2026? Convincing Formula One and the discerning FIA of the added value a new entry can bring to the F1 grid requires an intricate approach. Joining a business that has flourished in recent years necessitates proving that the benefits outweigh the potential disruptions to the established order while facing opposition from current teams and cautious hesitance from F1 itself. While the possibility of adding new teams to the F1 fold remains open, the astronomical cost involved serve as a daunting deterrent for most aspiring entrants. With a staggering $200 million entry fee as the initial consideration, one must also account for the expense of establishing factories, hiring a skilled workforce, and other operational costs, making it unlikely for new teams to emerge soon. Mercedes, the dominant force in the sport, entered in 2010 through an acquisition of Braun GP, which had previously acquired Honda, which in turn bought Barb, originating from Tyrrell. Haas stands as the sole truly new F1 team of the last decade. The rationale lies in the fact that purchasing an existing team provides the advantage of ready facilities and staff, making it a more viable option than starting from scratch. The complexities of entering as a new team entail substantial additional expenses in terms of hiring staff, constructing or procuring new facilities, and engineering a car from the ground up. These financial burdens are compounded by the cost of joining Formula One itself. The requirement for a team to pay $200 million to enter F1 stems from an anti-dilution payment concept. In essence, the existing 10 teams receive a share of the prize money, and if a new team were to join, the amount distributed to each team would diminish. The $200 million fee, allocated at $20 million per team, aims to offset this potential loss. However, this practice has sparked controversy, as it is perceived by many as an unnecessary barrier for new entrants. Despite the criticism, the current teams naturally seek compensation if their financial benefits are spread thin with more teams in the championship. Among the notable applicants, the Andretti Cadillac entry for 2025 stands out as the most high-profile candidate. Additionally, former Bar CEO Craig Pollock is leading the Formula Equal proposal, advocating for a team with equal male and female involvement to join the grid in 2026, subject to approval. Hong Kong-based billionaire Calvin Low has also expressed discussions about investing in potential new teams, although he has ruled out participation in the Andretti bid and another high-tech Grand Prix venture. Audi's entry into F1 is confirmed for 2026 after acquiring a stake in Sauber, which has operated under the Alfa Romeo banner since 2016. Furthermore, Ford will make a return to F1 in 2026, joining forces with the reigning Constructors' Champions, Red Bull, following a 22-year absence. Sky F1 pundits Martin Brundle and Karun Chandak advocate for Formula One's return to a 12-team grid, provided that the new teams demonstrate credibility and sustainability. Since 2012, F1 has not had 12 teams, and the current 10 teams have composed the grid since 2017. Restoring the grid to its former size could inject renewed excitement and competitiveness to the sport, given that the incoming teams meet the necessary criteria for participation. Well, what is the FIA F1 looking for in a new team? The primary requirement that the FIA F1 seeks in any new team aspiring to join F1 is the ability to participate at a competitive level in the highly challenging Grand Prix racing. However, the evaluation process delves much deeper into various aspects. The prospective teams are subject to scrutiny regarding their technical expertise, available resources, funding capabilities, and a well-structured business plan for the first 5 years of operation. Moreover, the leadership and personnel's prior experience, existing facilities and staff, and adherence to equality, diversity, and inclusion principles are all integral parts of the evaluation. A significant aspect is the assessment of the suitability of those who hold ownership, control, and management positions within the team, ensuring they meet the fit and proper persons requirement. Additionally, there is an intangible yet critical criterion: the FIA's assessment of the value that the candidate might bring to the championship. This entails evaluating the candidate's reputation, integrity, and, most importantly, potential financial contribution to the growth of F1. A team capable of attracting attention in regions beyond F1's European heartland can leverage this as a virtue, although such a contribution would need to extend well beyond the team's physical location. In essence, a new team must not only possess the technical and financial capacity to design, build, and race a competitive car, a formidable task in itself, but also demonstrate the potential to financially contribute to the overall development and growth of F1. Only with such comprehensive qualifications can a new team stand a chance of being granted a coveted place on the prestigious F1 grid. The narrative surrounding Formula One team bosses' desire to maintain the series cap at 10 teams and 20 cars took an interesting turn during the events at Silverstone. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff, a staunch advocate for the 10-team limit, expressed concerns about the dilution of the championship prize fund that would occur with the addition of an 11th team. To illustrate his point, he used a simple analogy, stating that dividing a pie into 10 pieces is more advantageous than dividing it into 11. Wolff raised another point in the debate, highlighting the logistical challenges posed by accommodating 2 additional cars on the tracks and in garage facilities. He cited the current situation during qualifying sessions, where teams are already maneuvering closely, akin to a go-kart track, and emphasized the safety concerns that might arise with even more cars on the circuit. Wolff remarked that Silverstone could handle the Hollywood crew and cars filming scenes for an F1 movie featuring Brad Pitt, but other circuits might not have the capacity. He cleverly referred to the Hollywood people when discussing the film's production at Silverstone. In response to those aspiring to enter Formula One, Wolff advocated a straightforward solution, purchasing an existing team rather than introducing 2 new cars and an additional ownership group. His sentiment found agreement from Ferrari team principal Frédéric Vasseur, who concurred that the impact of a movie and a new team on the championship would be vastly different. Vasseur acknowledged that Formula One could consider adding an 11th team, but it must be a significant endeavor encompassing various aspects. The decision regarding whether Formula One will indeed welcome up 2 more teams remains pending. With the FIA expected to reveal its verdict in another 4 to 6 weeks, several groups responded to the official FIA tender, and rumors have circulated that Andretti Cadillac and High Tech may have already been granted franchises. However, opposition from Liberty Media and most of the current F1 teams has created hurdles that must be addressed. FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem acknowledged the political and financial nature of the issue and stressed the importance of respecting the process and regulations set by the EU. While understanding the existing team's financial concerns, Ben Sulayem emphasized his duty to do the right thing for the sport. He rejected the notion of telling a major team interested in joining F1 to acquire an existing team instead, stating that such an approach would be misguided. Notably, Ben Sulayem expressed a personal preference for Michael Andretti's outfit, backed by Cadillac and General Motors, to be the 11th team entry. Despite his inclination, he remains committed to upholding a fair and impartial evaluation process for all potential entrants. The decision to introduce new teams will undoubtedly influence the landscape of Formula One and the dynamics of the sport moving forward. In conclusion, the process of entering Formula One as a new team is a multifaceted challenge that extends beyond technical and financial capabilities. Despite the challenges, the allure of Formula One continues to captivate investors and enthusiasts alike, making it a sought-after arena for those willing to take on the adventure. As the evaluation process for potential new teams continues, the future landscape of F1 remains intriguing, with the potential for new names and faces to grace the grid and add further excitement to the sport.